872 is responsible for a lot of the success of the project, and responsible for the construction of the project, and responsible for the successful completion of the voting process, and all of those things, all of those steps that took place over a 4 or 5 year period. They were a big part of, and someone that the Raiders owe a big debt to.
While Laborers Local 872's lead involvement in having a world-class stadium constructed in Las Vegas in 2020 and bringing the Raiders of the National Football League to the city that year was one of the pinnacles of the local's more recent accomplishments, Local 872 and its membership have been progressively impacting Las Vegas and the state of Nevada in countless and immeasurable ways for the last 85 years.
For 85 years, you've had a presence here. And your presence is only growing stronger by you, by your leadership, by the leadership of this local. It has grown. It has improved the lives of not only our membership, but the community and all working people.
March 3rd, 1937. I am in receipt of the remittance of $15 and the request for the issuance of the charter in Las Vegas and Boulder City, Nevada. And same has been granted under the number 872, and the supplies have been sent under separate cover. Achilles Persian, Secretary-Treasurer, International Hod Carriers, Building and Common Laborers Union. Laborers Local 872 was chartered by the International Hod Carriers Building and Common Laborers Union, forerunner of today's Laborers International Union of North America, or LIUNA, on March 1st, 1937, with jurisdiction over Las Vegas and all of Clark and Lincoln counties.
Well, what brought you back here? What drew you back after living up in Montana in that beautiful country?
I guess primarily Boulder Dam and the work. Things were a little rough, and everybody was looking at the dam for a job.
Did you work out at the dam?
At the tail end, I did.
What were you doing?
I was a construction laborer out there.
What was Las Vegas like during the dam construction?
Of course, it was nothing like it is now, but I really liked it then. In fact, I liked Las Vegas up until about 1941. I thought it was the ideal town.
Since that time, the local has constantly maintained workplace safety and quality construction at the forefront of all its activities, which have included countless historic and vital infrastructure projects within the territory it serves.
Local 872 was doing a lot of building on the Strip. The projects that were going on at that time was the extension on the airport, the tunnels that are underneath the airport right now, where 215 connects. There was a big resort being built out at the lakes of Las Vegas. The Bellagio was at a planning stage. So a lot of the mega resorts that you see on the Strip right now, they were somebody's dream back then.
And these things didn't go up, and most of the Strip, and of course we know Allegiant Stadium, but downtown, I think a Circa, which is the first hotel built downtown probably in 30-some years. But everything that's being renovated down here, certainly our World Market Center, which houses the small convention space, our Smith Center, everything that's gone on in the city property of Symphony Park, which really gave us the heartbeat to have culture and arts down here. And I know that the laborers have been involved with us in everything that we've been doing in the health field, everything that we've been doing in our courts, helping build our courts. I can't think of anything that laborers have not been involved in.
Along the way, Local 872 has obtained gainful working contract agreements, an essential and sound health and welfare insurance program, and a vital pension plan for its members.
I was able to support my family, to support them, not sustain. I was able to support my family. We did everything I never thought we would be able to do. My kids went on a vacation every year. I was blessed to send all of my kids to college. I had 3 of them, but I had to send them to college, get them a good education, decent house, a decent car. 72, can't imagine another organization that supported their people.
Among the many significant projects, activities, and enterprises in which Local 872 laborers have been involved, they helped build and maintain the basic magnesium plant in Henderson, Nevada, that supplied the U.S. military with magnesium for munitions and airplane parts during World War II. Local 872 members also helped build, expand, and maintain the Nevada National Security Site, known as the Nevada Test Site, the primary testing location of U.S. American nuclear devices, beginning in 1951, which helped build up the local as well.
We got the job at 872, then we bought a house. My dad bought a house, bought a new car, because they worked at the test site. First time we'd ever had a new car, but they all drove to the test site. At that time, there were only two places to work in Las Vegas, at the test site or on the Strip.
Not too many non-union people were here at that time. Most of it they could get in and bring them into the union contractors.
And of course, Local 872 members helped build the Las Vegas Strip and its many entertainment attractions from its beginnings in the late 1940s, including its roads, walkways, infrastructure, and high-rise hotels and casinos, such as the Flamingo, the Tropicana, and Circus Circus. Since that time, the locals' laborers have worked to maintain and help grow the Strip and the city, especially during a boom in new hotel and casino construction during the 1970s and the 1980s, with its new mega resorts such as the Mirage. Local 872 laborers were then in the middle of another surge in construction on the Strip in the 1990s, which included themed hotels such as the Luxor, Excalibur, and Mandalay Bay. All the while, the locals' members were regularly employed on upgrades and renovations to most all of the entertainment complexes in Las Vegas.
This town would not be what it is today, fastest growing city in the United States, a thriving downtown community, a beautiful performing arts center, the Lou Ruvo Brain Institute. Just go down one after another, the new Circa Hotel, the city projects. We engaged in project labor agreements. We learned about that. We worked together. Never had a problem. And these buildings rose out like the phoenix from the ashes and form a city that is second to none. And it wouldn't have happened without the laborers.
For 85 years, Local 872 has provided a pathway to fulfilling careers for tens of thousands of laborers, which it enhanced in the early 1980s when the local established its apprentice training program.
We take the time to not only train individuals in how to do the job properly, but if they need help, we can help them. Whatever's new out in the field, I try to apply it in the training program and teach people.
Years ago, they never had no training program. You just come in and went to work, and if you didn't know what you were doing, they fired you. Simply put, I mean, you had to pick it up on your own. Nowadays, they got the training where you can go in and learn how to do all this stuff. So when you go out on the job, you're halfway experienced. So, which is really great, I think. And the contractors benefit from it too.
Through its training program, Local 872 prepares skilled laborers to be safe and highly qualified in heavy and highway construction, environmental, underground utilities, mining, building and construction, and, more recently, asbestos remediation and solar power installation.
I believe that our apprenticeship program is the reason why we have a safe workforce. One of the biggest things that I see that comes out of the program is workers that are coming out of there that already have the knowledge of going onto a job and being safe on a job.
We are the safest union in this valley. We have the less injuries and accidents than everybody, and I completely attribute to that, to the fact that our union has every member back in here every 5 years to do training and safety.
During its 85 years, Local 872 members have worked on most all road and highway construction in the Las Vegas area and have performed a large amount of construction and maintenance work on its resorts and entertainment attractions.
Local 872 has always been in the concrete business, and you cannot build a resort in this town unless you're part of this union, part of Local 872. I would always say that this local had the best concrete hands in the country. There's nowhere else that could build a resort as fast as the concrete hands at Local 872. With all the workers. I mean, we do the stocking of the drywall and the underground plumbing, underground infrastructure work, both wet and dry utilities. That was all done by the members of Local 872.
Among countless vital infrastructure improvements, Local 872 members helped build the Hoover Dam Bypass, which was completed in October 2010 and included the Mike O'Callahan-Pat Tillman Memorial Bridge, the world's highest concrete arch bridge over the Colorado River between Nevada and Arizona to reroute US 93 from its previous routing along the top of Hoover Dam. Local 872 members helped build the Lake Mead No. 3 intake project to bring much-needed water to the Las Vegas region from Lake Mead, the area's primary water source in the late 2000s and early 2010s.
These buildings don't build themselves, and it takes laborers to do it. They didn't have that much work before I became the mayor, at least not in the downtown area. The downtown was lethargic, there was no energy. And when we started to talk about developing the downtown, we brought the laborers in, and I was very impressed with them because I always thought of union guys as just tough guys on the docks and that kind of thing. This was it was almost like going to college. When I met them and went out to their facilities and saw the kind of training that they were giving their members, it was about creating great jobs, high-paying jobs, and instilling a sense of community with them. And it was so easy to work with them because they wanted to accomplish the same thing their way in building what I wanted to see accomplished for our city.
Meanwhile, the local was able to survive an historic downtime when its membership dropped from 6,000 in 2008 to less than 2,000 by 2014.
That was a serious, hard time in Las Vegas. We fought through it, and people stuck around, and we continued building.
In a very public display of its commitment to its city and its members, Local 872 worked tirelessly and ceaselessly advocated for Allegiant Stadium to be built beginning in 2017. And many Local 872 members were employed in the ultra-modern facilities construction.
If you want to talk about what was effective with all of the things that went on to convince the community and convince the Assembly and convince the Senate that it was a good project, the labor union had as big a part of that as anybody.
We printed shirts, we printed banners, we wrapped a fire truck, we had barbecues at every meeting. And I really think that was kind of to show the community that they needed to support this also.
Ultimately, the locals' efforts helped bring the NFL's Raiders to Las Vegas, further advancing it as a true major league city.
Without the laborers, I don't think we'd have it. Because of the fact they were really courteous, polite, but very strong. We want this. We need these jobs. Bring it here. But in a very gracious way.
And that was done because of the workforce and because of this community, because of people like Tommy and 872 and what they bring to the equation here and how proud they are of what they can do here.
Local 872 also remains politically active in support of labor-friendly politicians and legislation, as it has been for 85 years, while advocating for public policy issues that increase economic development and create jobs across the community.
In the construction of the plants out there, we had fellows, quite a number of workmen that would be infected by the method, and an antiquated method on making magnesium. Of course, they were covered by at that time, the Nevada Industrial Commission Act. This is actually what got me involved in politics, and that was back in 1942. And since that time, it seems like I've been in one race or the other, either legislatively.
Always has been strong, and is stronger today than it's ever been.
As it always has, Local 872 is building Las Vegas and keeping it running while using its collective power to solve the problems that workers, employers, and policymakers cannot solve alone, while fighting to create opportunities for the industries that build Las Vegas and Nevada. Because Laborers Local 872 exists because of and for its members.
These are good people, and they're just been involved in the community, the part of the heartbeat of it.
I'm proud of the fact that the men and women of 872 are so involved in this community. And when you look at this community, up and down the Strip, it was built by members of union labor, which I'm really, really proud of. And 872's got a big part of that. They represent a diverse group of individuals and always step up whenever they can.
Thoughts first and efforts are always were for the people within the state. Have good industrial insurance for the workers, good education for our kids, and in general a good solid state that was good for its people. And with the efforts of organized labor throughout the state, all of these things are possible for all of the people, regardless of your status in life.
We were more or less a family. It wasn't just a union. If one was hurting, everybody jumped right in there and got it fixed.
My lifeblood, let's put it that way. It helped me raise my family, helped pay my bills, helped keep us healthy. It kept us all together.
It's been a good life for me, so I got no complaints whatsoever.
This union done kept a lot of us together. These young ones, they done kept a lot of them out of trouble. And just like I say, it has been. It just keep on giving.